let's talk about uterine displacement. It's common, but often misunderstood, so let's clear things up.
First things first. To understand displacement, we got to know where the uterus is supposed to be.
Normally, it's what we call anteverted and anteflexed. That just means it tilts and bends forward.
Here's a super easy way to remember it. A plus A is always acceptable. That's the healthy spot. So what holds it there? Think of it like a hammock, supported by your pelvic floor muscles and ligaments.
Right, but what happens when that hammock, that support system, starts to get weak?
Well, that's when you get uterine displacement. The uterus shifts from that always acceptable position, and this shift can happen in a few different directions. You've got retroversion, prolapse, and lateral.
For the backward tilt, just remember, retro means reverse. Super simple, right? So how does it all happen? It's a chain reaction, really, and it starts with that weakened support.
And what causes that weakness? Well, it can be anything from childbirth to even a chronic cough. All that pressure creates symptoms. For a backward tilt, a classic sign is a nagging backache.
And for prolapse, that downward shift, the feeling is often described as pressure or even a bulge.
Here's another great memory trick, press. It covers all the major symptoms of a prolapse. Okay, so how do you know for sure? Diagnosis is usually a physical exam, maybe a simple ultrasound.
All right, so how do we get things back in balance? Let's talk about the path forward.
Treatment isn't one size fits all. It can be conservative for mild cases or surgical for severe ones.
For mild cases, what's the first thing you do? You focus on strengthening from the inside out.
And that means pelvic floor exercises. You've probably heard of them as Kegels. They are absolutely key.
Besides Kegels, there are other options, like a supportive device or just treating an underlying cause. But you know what's better than treatment? Prevention. Things like weight control and good postnatal care.
Which really leaves us with one big question. Why is something so fundamental to our health so rarely discussed?